Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Don't just throw a tailgate. Own the tailgate with a Bojangles Big Bow Box. Because only Bojangles puts tailgate-ready fresh, never frozen, honey barbecue or buffalo bone-in wings with fall-off-the-bone juiciness right in the pocket. The only way to make these wings any better? With some made-from-scratch buttery biscuits, flavorful fixins, and freshly steeped legendary iced tea. So let the quarterback do the throwing, you do the winning. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Bojangles, it's bow time.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. My wife and I sat down with Harlan Mitchell and discussed our own estate planning needs. I know in our experience, Harlan brought up questions that caused us to think about our current situation and what we need to do moving forward. When you sit down with Harlan for your free consultation, you're going to find out things that you may have not thought about when it comes to estate planning. I encourage you to go to bamaestateplanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884 and schedule your free consultation today.
Experience the difference at Athens Bible School. The vision and purpose is to provide each student a quality education in a Christ-centered environment to develop the whole person spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially in safe and supportive surroundings. The solid biblical foundation permeates learning and culture in the classrooms and every extracurricular activity.
Hey everybody, this is Daryl Worley, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. Hey, step up and make a difference like he does.
This old world is full of hurt and pain. A little sunshine and a whole lot of rain. It don't take much to drive those clouds away. Let's all do something good today. You never know what someone's going through. Don't underestimate what you can do. A friendly smile's a tiny price to pay. Let's all do something good today.
Welcome to a brand new edition of the Mark White Show. I am glad that you could join us today as I am here right now at Harlan D. Mitchell Legal Services, LLC in Athens, Alabama. You can check out Harlan Mitchell Legal Services at bamaestateplanning.com. He's a great sponsor of the Mark White Show, and we appreciate the use of one of his offices today. Right now on the line with me, I have Brandon Holliday. If you have followed the Mark White Show for at least a year, you know of Brandon Holliday, you know his story, and you know about Red, White, and Blue Canine Services. I wanted Brandon to come back on the Mark White Show to update us on Red, White, and Blue Canine Services. And for those who have not yet met Brandon, I wanted you to hear his story. Welcome back to the Mark White Show, Brandon Holliday.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Always glad to have you, my friend, and I really appreciate the great work you're doing when it comes to canine services. Of course, we met through Nico Marcolongo, through Challenged Athletes Foundation, Operation Rebound, great organization, and we always want to acknowledge the great work of Nico with Operation Rebound.
Yes. For those of you that don't know about Nico Marcolongo, he works for Challenged Athletes Foundation, and he is in charge of the special program called Operation Rebound. Our motto for Operation Rebound is from the front line to the finish line. And the mission of Operation Rebound is to assist first responders and military in using sports as a catalyst to heal. So whether it be combat-related, traumatic, accident, just anything that causes a life-changing event, Nico gets these men and women involved with different sports and helps provide them funding for training, travel, and equipment, which is not covered by insurance. For example, a push room chair or a hand cycle is not covered by insurance, but the value of what these tools do is just immeasurable by getting someone back to being confident and active and out there in the community.
You yourself come from the law enforcement community, and for those who didn't hear you the first time, would you mind sharing your story and how you came to be part of or to found Red, White, and Blue Canine Services?
Sure. I was injured in the line of duty as a police officer, and it was during that time that I found out that I had a blood clotting condition, which started causing a cascade of clots. And I was diagnosed with systemic lupus, and for those that don't know what systemic lupus is, it is a autoimmune disease where the body attacks itself. So from systemic lupus, you can have kidney failure, you can have pleurisy, which is just inflammation of the lungs, and of course, a select few get the blood clotting condition. Now, normally lupus is 90% women, so I'm in that lucky 10% category, but even more so with the clotting disorder. So from that, I just started having more issues, which was exacerbated from the lupus, which eventually led to my leg getting amputated. So while I was healing, and that was the most important time, was after, because many of us that face a limb loss start having self-esteem issues. We start believing that we're less than, the person that we were before because we lost a limb. And I'd been asking for help and someone to talk to, couldn't find anyone. Doctors weren't of any help at all. They just wanted to diagnose me with a condition like manic depression, which of course would be common during a time of someone just had their leg amputated. So you're trying to manage and deal with these things. And I'd come across Challenged Athletes Foundation and applied to them, and they're the ones that actually got me started back to sports. So they had provided me some funding and a grant, and I was able to attend a adaptive sporting event that had other people my age with similar disabilities doing amazing things, motocross, rock climbing, martial arts, and that kind of started me on my path to recovery.
Brandon, since I talked to you last, I have done a lot of shows when it comes to first responders, whether it be physical or mental challenges, and the suicide rate when it comes to our first responder community is just astronomical. And there are organizations out there trying to combat this. And I know that Challenged Athletes Foundation, through the program that they have, Operation Rebound, they have helped so many when it comes to leveling off, if you will, where a person is to that point where they feel like there's no hope, and they have stepped in and said, yes, there actually is, and here are some tools to help you to overcome this challenge. And I just want to make sure that people understand the magnitude of the work of an organization, a foundation like Operation Rebound through challenged athletes.
You're creating a nationwide family of support. We get the opportunity to see each other several times a year, and then we start paying it back and paying it forward by attending events and helping others, so they get to see someone that's leading by example that has gone through the same things that they have gone through. So it's just, being able to give someone activity and routine and things to look forward to changes the outlook on everything. And, it saves lives.
What was it, Brandon, during your process of recovery that got you to thinking about Red, White, and Blue Canine Services and what you wanted to do moving forward?
I had been struggling with some health issues and wasn't comfortable with where I was at. So I actually said, what can I do to help myself have a peace of mind that can give me some assurances that if something was to happen, I knew I had help. And I actually had applied to Susquehanna Service Dogs for a service dog and was actually partnered and paired with the dog. My dog's name was SSD Dyson. And Dyson was basically trained to just assist me in some daily tasks if I had issues. From some of my injuries, my shoulders used to lock up. So I could be sitting on the floor and I couldn't push myself up because I couldn't move my arms. With the lupus, I had Addison's, which is basically me not having the fight or flight response. So I have to substitute steroids if something serious happens or an illness. So we had trained Dyson to find my cell phone, bring it to me. And then I trained him with a cue called Find Superman, which gets him to go to an emergency canine phone and press it to dial 911. So just having Dyson with me traveling, if something medically happened, changed everything. And, now you fast forward 9 years later and Dyson's about to retire and has had issues with just some things as dogs get older, environmentally, storms, fireworks. So I said, what can I do? This has been such a blessing, and Dyson has provided me so much freedom. And what I mean by freedom is I continued in sports. So I actually competed for the U.S. national team in canoe kayak, made Team USA in 2016, and didn't move forward when I went to Paralympic qualifiers to be able to attend the Paralympics. But just competing at that level of an elite athlete, I won 9 U.S. national titles in 200 and 500 meters sprint kayaking, which I never thought I would be able to do. So then I said, what can I do? How can I help with things? And I said, what if I start training dogs? There's got to be other people like me that want to have the ability to have freedoms, but also possibly serve again. So I said, let me create an organization that I can get dogs, train them to do detection work, which means finding narcotics, explosives, or do other types of work where we can start working again and provide them that ability that, yeah, we might have some bad days, but there's some flexibility to what we do. But we've all become physically fit enough to be able to help protect our communities and feel like we're making even more of an impact. So that's how Red, White, and Blue Canine was started, and our motto is helping America's heroes serve again. So that's what it's all about. It's me hiring other disabled or injured first responders and military, and us getting back to work, and us having the ability to have our dogs provide us with companionship and help when we need it, but also serve the community and protect those that we love.
Right now, folks, we're at the offices of Harlan D. Mitchell Legal Services, LLC. You can check out Harlan Mitchell Legal Services at BamaEstatePlanning.com. And we are talking to my friend Brandon Holliday, who founded Red, White, and Blue Canine Services. I found out about Brandon Holiday through Challenged Athletes Foundation, Operation Rebound, my friend Nico Marcolongo, and we appreciate the fact that Brandon can join us here on the Mark White Show today. When we come back, Brandon, let's talk about Red, White, and Blue Canine Services and what you are doing moving forward. I know that you're talking about some groundbreaking, and I want people to know exactly what you're doing as you progress with Red, White, and Blue Canine Services. Will you stick with me?
Of course.
Folks, we're talking to Brandon Holiday, and I hope you'll stick with us as we continue this conversation. You are listening to The Mark White Show, and I'm your host, Mark White.
Something good today. A little wink, a pat on the back, a big old hug, a little laugh. We can make a difference. All we have to do is try. Yeah, every day's a chance to change somebody else's life. Let's all do something good today.
Mr. Cecil Batchelor is the one that started this business as Dependable Service Center. And even though now it's Green's Dependable Hardware and we're a True Value store, our tagline is still Your Dependable Service Center. We've tried to keep that alive for all these years. Mr. Batchelor really started a good business. We're really excited to be carrying on a long-standing tradition. It's the oldest retail store in the city of Russellville. We're Green's Dependable Hardware, 15220A Highway 43 in Russellville, Alabama. We're right behind McDonald's or right across the street from the hospital. Number is 256-331-0123.
Your Dependable Service Center.
Do you look at your home or business and wonder what you can do when it comes to landscapes or hardscapes? Get in touch with my friends at JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes. Licensed, bonded, and insured, JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes offers new sod, irrigation, new flower beds, new mulch, blocks, stone, retaining walls, patios, and outdoor kitchens. Give JJ a call at 256-497-8263 or email at jjhardscapes@gmail.com. Now offering pool remodeling and new installs. That's JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes. Located in Tuscumbia, Alabama, the Alabama Music Hall of Fame honors Alabama's music achievers. You can even go into the recording studio and try out your talents as a singer. That's the Alabama Music Hall of Fame, located at 617 Highway 72 West in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give them a call at 256-381-4417. Check them out on the web at alamhof.org. Thompson Roofing and Construction is a locally owned family business serving the North Alabama and Southern Tennessee area. They are a Better Business Bureau A+ member since 2011 and a GAF Master Elite Contractor. Give them a call at 256-952-3309 or check them out on the web at 256roofing.com. They offer free inspections.
Thompson Roofing and Construction.
Is it time for a haircut? Go see my friends Philip Butler and B.H. Parker at Southwind Barbershop, located at 1637 Lee Street in Rogersville, Alabama. Give them a call at 256-247-5658. That's 256-247-5658.
If you like hickory smoked ribs that fall apart at the slightest pull, or barbecue shoulders that are so slow smoked each tender bite melts in your mouth, then you are going to love Baby Jack's Barbecue. Baby Jack's Barbecue in Bartlett and Arlington. Try the barbecue chicken, beef brisket sandwich, barbecue potato, it is huge, or the Baby Jack Trio, pork, turkey, or beef brisket sliders. You like wet ribs? They like dry ribs. Get one slab that has them both. Catering? Baby Jack's can feed a family or an army. Drive in, drive through, order online, or come in and set a minute. Baby Jack's Barbecue in Bartlett at Highway 70 in Appling, or in Arlington at Highway 70 just a block west of 385.
Hi, I'm Crystal Gale, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. And one smile can make a difference. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Someone loves you, I do.
to the city, works extra hard all day, finishes up early so he can get away, 'cause there's a blue-eyed kid on second base, wants dad to watch him play.
Welcome back to the Mark White Show. Right now on the line with me, I have my friend Brandon Holliday. He is a former police officer and founder of Red, White, and Blue Canine Services. Welcome back to the Mark White Show, Brandon Holliday.
It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to talking about Red, White, and Blue with you.
Man, I am glad that you found your passion. I'm glad that you found something that you love. Through whatever you experienced, the difficulties that you experienced, it is a lesson for every single person who's listening right now to know that no matter what your challenge is, no matter what you are facing, there are opportunities out there. And man, like I said, I'm so glad that you have found where you fit with Red, White, and Blue Canine Services, Brandon.
Yes, it's really been a blessing, and you know, since the last time we talked, time has flown by, and so many things are going on and in the works that I'm just excited for, you know, the future, even though there's been a little bit of stress with COVID and trying to get embedded in certain areas. It's just still been amazing.
Oh, I just finished my battle myself over the past few days, so I completely understand, and it does change life, but, you know, hiccups and little hills to climb, and those things have always been a part of life, and we're always going to have something. If it's not COVID, it's going to be something else, and if you're a stepper, you're going to step, right?
Exactly. You're always moving forward, so you got to stay in the fight.
So let's talk about what's happened with Red, White, and Blue Canine Services in spite of COVID, in spite of any other thing that's happened. Let's talk about what you're doing moving forward with this amazing canine service.
Well, you know, just like law enforcement and military, something happens, we don't stop. You're still working. You're still trying to figure out what you need to do to achieve the mission and meet your goals, and that's basically what we've been doing. So over the course of the last year, I've been attending more trainings to prepare to do more work and help police departments when they need it, but I also brought on a current full-time active duty National Guard with another canine Apollo, and she's basically learned how to be a handler with Apollo, who is an explosive detection dog. So Kelly should be certifying within the next couple of months once I have her prepared, and she'll be assisting me when it's needed to go out and do some work. It took some time, and several contracts later, we finally purchased a 13-acre property, and that's going to be where our training facility is. We'll have a scent house, an open training building, an area to track, and we'll have certain opportunities there for law enforcement and other handlers to just work on basic skills from obedience to decoy work, which is something new that I started getting into. That's the work where basically we're used as a chew toy for the dogs, which I never thought I would love, but I love doing it, and got to work with some great officers down in Florida from West Palm Beach and some other municipalities, you know, working as a decoy and honing more skills to know how to develop the dog so that they can protect their partner, but also protect others. And, you know, I couldn't ask for more than that. And we're purchasing some more dogs, and now it's just the grind. We're trying to get some contracts at the seaport, and then some stadiums we're waiting to hear from to be able to hire some more veterans that I have waiting in the wings to just start growing the company and providing some financial security to a lot of us where, you know, disability pay is not enough. And some of the other jobs don't understand, you know, what we may have to deal with. And for me to be able to provide some of that comfort and freedom to other brothers and sisters is just a blessing.
Now, I think I know the answer to this question, Brandon, but I want you to answer it. How long do you want the arms of Red, White, and Blue Canine Services to extend?
As far as we can go. If it was up to me, I would actually deploy overseas, but my significant other will not let me. So there's been some opportunities to go overseas and serve and work in some, some high threat areas. But, I did that before here as a police officer, and you just do the best you can. But, it's whatever we can do, wherever we can go, whether it's protecting synagogues or churches or community events like marathons, we can do it all, even helping some of the community with just some basic obedience with their dogs where they're having some issues. We've actually helped to rescue a few dogs that would have been put down and replace them with families and work with them. And now the dogs are totally functional and have their forever homes.
You just touched on it, but I want people who are listening right now to think about how they can utilize red, white, and blue canine services for themselves, for their organization, for their business, for their community.
Yeah, we can do everything, even if it's personal protection, or you have a loved one you think might be abusing or substance abuse, might be abusing drugs. We can come out, do a quick search, and it's all discreet. And, we're just trying to get some people some help in those ways, where a lot of private community members will have us come out and do those things. And private companies may have us come just sweep for public events. Like if there's church officials coming and you need additional security, we can do those things as well. So it's endless to what you can do, or even canine sales to provide different types of dogs. We can train dogs and, sell them to people who may need to use them, like police departments, even private citizens for protection dogs.
Now, where is this 13 acres that you were able to get for red, white, and blue canine services?
We're located in Montgomery County in a little town called Percy, which is a great farming community. It's not far away from Philadelphia or from any immediate area. It's under 2 hours to get to. You might hear Kiko getting a little protective in the background. He heard a noise outside, so sometimes he'll start barking and growling. So
I remember
saying hello soon. So we're not far from Philadelphia. We can get to Baltimore, Philadelphia, DC in under 3 hours. New York under 2 hours. There he goes.
There we are.
It's okay to be able to work. So it's just a great area. We have 13 acres, all fenced in, and now it's just going through that wonderful, beautiful process of getting zoning approvals and building permits. So hopefully we should break ground by November, and everything should be completed sometime in December to really start kicking things off and get the facility up and running and start to get some trainings in there to help the community.
Well, Brandon, from the very first time I met you, I told you that I'm here to help. And I wanted to make sure that I reached back out to you so that you could update listeners. And I want you to be able to share right now how people can connect with Red, White, and Blue Canine Services. Whatever you want listeners to do, I want you to share that information.
They can find us on Facebook. If you just type in Red, White, and Blue Services, you'll see some great things. We just did an event with the 14th Hour Foundation, which was started by Chris Tanto-Paranto, which many people may have heard of. He's one of the contractors from Benghazi. We were given the privilege and honor to speak and just, talk about how everything has changed our lives and what we've had to go through, and actually did canine demos at the Police Hall of Fame and Memorial, which was just fantastic. So the community, police officers, and different organizations that were coming out to support the 14th Hour Foundation, which also helps first responders and military, got to see the type of training we do and got to see us work our dogs. So you can also find us on our website, which is www.rwbcanine.com. We're on Instagram. We're on all the social media that you can think of, and you could track our progress, see videos of us training, what events we're attending, what trainings we're doing. So there's some fun videos up there. As many people don't know, I lost my leg below the knee from my injuries. And when I was doing some decoy work, we purposely set it up so that when the dog attacked, my leg would pop off. So that's one of the videos that's had the most hits that's online, which was just some fun. And, you can also go onto our website, and we have a store up if you want to support us, and we have shirts for sale, long sleeve, short sleeve hats. We have challenge coins. We have everything. So that money goes directly towards the purchase of new canines and towards the expenses we have with getting the buildings done and raising money to continue the mission.
Brandon, it is always a pleasure to have you here on the Mark White Show. And like I've always said, I'm here to help. So you keep me posted, and I want Red, White, and Blue Canine Services to be as successful as you want it to be, my friend.
I really appreciate the time and look forward to hopefully coming to visit you sometime when I make my trips down to Florida and we can get you in a bite suit.
Hey, you would be more than welcome to come through Alabama. I might try the bite suit. When I was a police officer, we had a canine department at a couple of places I was at, and I did allow the canine officer to put the protective gear on my arm so that the dog could attack my arm. That was an interesting experience.
Oh yeah. And it's just a game for them. So it's now you're about to hear the domino effect of all the dogs in the house.
So we appreciate Brandon Holiday joining us here on the Mark White Show, and the dogs you hear in the background. Always great to hear the dogs who are actually the center of Red, White, and Blue Canine Services. So we're glad to hear them too, Brandon, right?
Oh, of course. They're our fur baby family.
Well, Brandon, always glad to have you here on the Mark White Show. You're always welcome back, okay?
I'm looking forward to it.
Folks, Brandon Holiday with Red, White, and Blue Canine Services. Glad to have him on the Mark White Show today. I hope that you will support Red, White, and Blue Canine Services however you can. Check out their website. What was that website one more time, Brandon?
The website is www.rwbcanine.com, and you can find all our other social media links on that website.
Excellent. We want to mention we appreciate Harlan D. Mitchell Legal Services, LLC, for allowing me to use his office today as my neighbors are getting some trees trimmed. The chainsaws would have just been more than I could have handled. The dogs are fine. The tree trimmers, not so much. But we appreciate Harlan Mitchell allowing me to use his office today. Check out BamaEstatePlanning.com. Here on the Mark White Show, we're recognizing difference makers like Brandon Holiday and Red, White, and Blue Canine Services, and I hope that you'll share this show with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. Let them know about the Mark White Show and what we're doing to try to make a difference in our communities all around the country and the world. You can follow the Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and subscribe to the Mark White Show podcast via Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, Blueberry, YouTube, TuneIn Radio, all those places, folks. You have been listening to another edition of The Mark White Show, and this is Mark White, as always, reminding you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today.
Who live and love in my hometown. These are my kind of people.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week, with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
Don't just throw a tailgate, own the tailgate with a Bojangles Big Bow Box. Because only Bojangles puts tailgate-ready fresh, never frozen, honey barbecue or buffalo bone-in wings with fall-off-the-bone juiciness right in the pocket. The only way to make these wings any better? With some made-from-scratch buttery biscuits, flavorful fixins, and freshly steeped legendary iced tea. So let the quarterback do the throwing, you do the winning. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Bojangles, it's bow time.
You hear me, people, when I say, well, let's all do something good today.